Hello, welcome to the Hopkins County Republican Party channel. Please like and subscribe. Let me get this sized up here right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Let's see. I'm Dan Bobet. I am the Hopkins County Precinct Chair 16 guy. I'm also the Communications Director for Hopkins County Republican Party. Since it's been so long, it's been more than a month since I made a video, and since it's been so long, I thought I would refresh your memory with some things that magically seem to disappear from the news, starting with the history of catastrophic events that have never happened. In the 1960s, of course, oil was going to be gone in 10 years. And in the 70s, another ice age in 10 years. In the 80s, acid rain will destroy all crops in 10 years. In the 1990s, yeah, and in there somewhere was Jimmy Carter, and there was an issue with lead, too. They took all the lead out of gas. That's why you have unleaded gas. Um, so uh, yeah, and we all thought, well, this gas is crap. But um, anyway, so that's when that happened. And we had the fuel shortage between the 70s and 80s. Yeah, I remember that. I remember sitting in lines, traffic. Every other day you could get gas. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Yeah, that was really different. So, in the 1990s, the ozone layer will be gone in 10 years. And they showed all these neat pictures of the South Pole, and there's a big gap in the ozone layer. Anyway, in the year 2000, ice caps will be gone in 10 years. Yeah. How about 2010? Um, Any of you remember that? Let's see, this is supposed to be some kind of Aztec calendar out of there made of stone that scientists said would end in 2010. It was supposed to be the end of the world in 2010. I imagine that, two or three guys that made that calendar, being Stone Age men, they're looking around for a big rock, and it's like, well, we can make this one this size, but it'll end in 2010. And the other guy says, who's going to be around in 2010? Come on, give me a break. Let's just use this rock. So that's what they made the calendar out of. And actually, nothing happened in 2010. So, there you are. So, yeah. So it's all very interesting. Um, Yeah, anyway, if you wonder about 2010, I have the movie. I'll be happy to loan it to you. Just let me know. Uh, Next, we have Hunter Biden. Hunter, yes, good old Hunter Biden. Man of the Year. Yes, it was really interesting. Everything that has transpired with Hunter Biden, from cocaine found in the White House to uh, all kinds of things. Now he's pardoned from all the crimes that he did or didn't do um, way back to when he was in Ukraine selling his father's influence. Crazy stuff, huh? Yeah, yeah, kind of information it's just amazing what goes on. So here's Air Force One, Air Snort One. I'm sure there've been a few parties on that plane, and And the general opinion, probably of most people, is that innocent people do not need pardons. Um, yeah, um, it's just beyond mind-boggling that we're at the point where Biden pardons his own son. And later in the video, we'll talk about the fires down in L.A., where his son happens to have a house. Yeah, interesting. Um, anyway, um, so in Hopkins County, we had a little period of time when people were looking at uh, putting windmills on their property. And I hope none of my neighbors have done this because I guess they make pretty good targets. Um, I am against windmills in Hopkins County and don't want them anywhere near my property or on my property because these 30 to 60-foot towers have a big giant concrete base and they require a large road to go into them so that they can be serviced on a regular basis. Not only that, but the propellers for the windmills every now and then have to be changed. And if they aren't changed, if they die, sometimes the towers just stay up there. They fall down, they catch on fire, they do all kinds of stuff. And those propellers are not recyclable. They bury them in the ground. Um, and who knows what's going to happen with those. That's just crazy. So, kind of along the same lines, every now and then we hear about safety first. All these people who wore a mask while alone in a car. The new outdoor seat belt is now available. Uh, I see people now and then wearing masks. Some of them are elderly. I understand they don't want to give other people germs, but they aren't going to prevent themselves from getting germs using a mask. That's a fallacy. We pretty much know that. Um, so, and this meme and the last meme are kind of connected. Everyone has the right to be stupid. It's just that some people abuse the privilege. Um, yeah, it's kind of scary. So, uh, anyway, so this comes up now and then. Um, it's in the news. They want to say that well, Trump caused the riots in the Capitol and the murder of many people. And really, Ashley Babbitt was the only one to be murdered, and she was murdered by Capitol Police. Yes, there were people who got out of control, and now we're finding out that most of them worked for the FBI. Isn't that great? Oh, wow. Um, that's just not cool. So, pretty much this comes up in the news. We don't care. We've heard it all before, and we know it's a bunch of BS. Then we had drones. Remember the drones issue? Everybody was all worried about drones. Here's an Amish drone, which makes a lot of sense. But it's a kind of a stretch on what we were understanding in Texas. So I actually did see a drone flying over 1567 West here in Hopkins County. One late night, we were coming back from bowling, and there it was, just over 1567 West. Now, having had some experience in signal intelligence and early warning, I know that our government knows what these drones are all about. And I can speculate, and I only speculate, I don't know for sure, but I speculate that they're out looking for something, and they're looking for something that's been planted out there, and if they can detect it, that's a great thing because they're going to go looking for that thing in some foreign country where bad people are, and they're going to find them. It could be a watch. It could be, they can always already do that with cell phones. So it could be many things that they're out there looking for. Who knows? Bear in mind, if you can dream it up 10 years in advance, they've already thought of it and they're doing it. So there were drones over Texas, that's for sure. So, but drone activity now is down. So we sing the praises of January 20th with everything that Joe does. So we really look forward to January 20th coming. That's in 10 days. 10 days. Keep your head down. And let's just pray that the confirmations come for all the appointees. We're going to be doing the hokey pokey. Biden is doing all that he can to destroy and delay America getting on track. And that's pretty much the way it is. And so he's out there signing off every bill that he possibly can to get in the way of President Biden. It's really crazy to watch him do this. And President Trump will just reverse most of this stuff with the stroke of his pen. So, and hopefully the courts don't have to get involved in that process, but they may have to get involved. Let's see, lies from the media are finally catching up with them. The media is still hanging on to propaganda peddling, even though we know when they do it. We've been changing the channel, which is congratulations. That's what we need to do. We need to turn them off. Even David Muir, his viewership is way down now with the clothespin thing that he did. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but it's the nightly news and those things. They're unreliable. It's the nightly opinion. You want to get the news, you better go to YouTube or some other place, because you're not going to find it on mainstream media, that's for sure. Here we have a list of all the presidents. Note that the picture of the presidents now lists number 46, way down here, as a group of liberal staffers. That's between Trump and Trump. Yes. Because we all pretty much have it in our head that Joe Biden is not altogether there. So hopefully we can last 10 more days, but you never know. You see these images of him with Kamala, and they are not friends. She may just invoke, the 25th Amendment on him and bounce his ass out in a day or two before Trump takes over, just so she can be the first female president. That's probably not a cool thing to do, but I wouldn't put it past her. Would you? Probably not. Now, notice gas prices are coming down in advance of Trump taking office. I think this is fascinating. And I also think it's pretty cool. But, this sign was a gas war between two gas stations. So it's not really for real. But they do seem to be coming down. So I kind of like that. It'll be good to have Trump back in office. Now, we have had weather has been predicted to turn really bad. This was last week or so. It was predicted to be real bad. Big weather system coming through. Here's what we know so far. We don't know much, but it could be all over the place, just like this meme says. So as it developed, so we saw this, at least in my house, and I went out and I shut off all the outside water. I picked up the hoses and put them in the shop, and we got prepared for snow. Um, and locally, it looked like this the other day. Just day before yesterday, it looked like this. And we were getting snow last night. Yeah, a little bit. And that's what happened. So um, it wasn't too good. So after the snow fell, you could drive around and see things like this in East Texas. This is classic. This is good. These things out there are just perfect. But so we had a little ice age in East Texas. We get a little bit of snow on the ground in Texas, and it's like, yeah, it is the ice age. And later on that day in Hoth, Texas, we had a walker coming down the street. So that was pretty good too. I really like that. I appreciate those memes. Those guys really got it. So if any of you are not Star Wars fans, let me explain. In Star Wars, they are on the ice planet Hoth, and the Imperial walkers come to their base, and they're shooting up everything as Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and Leia escape the planet Hoth, and they go on their adventures. Anyway, so that's all I have to say about our little storm. Now, Trump's wish list included Greenland, and in this image we see it's appropriately going to be renamed Mara Igloo. And the ice sheet on Greenland, or Mara Igloo, is 3,205 meters. That's pretty deep. Yes, and also on his list of things to do is to rename the Gulf of Mexico. And there are many great ideas being offered. What a Gulf, Buc-ee's, Bucky Gulf, the Gulf of Texas, Texas Inspiration. Yes, I think those are all good names. Anyway, so at January 20th is close at hand. We celebrate a new holiday, and we also look forward to a new hope. So, having said all this about that, former part-time McDonald's fried cook donates his next 4 year salary, $1.8 million, to support homeless veterans. He starts his new job in January. That's our President Trump. And finally, we have another disastrous fire in California. I cannot be too sympathetic on this, as it is a disaster that didn't need to happen. Santa Ana winds happen every year, and so do fires. The people elect these leaders for all the wrong reasons over and over. So to me, they get what they get. It's God's will. It's, you can't fix stupid, I guess. And it's really a shame. You look at those hills. That's an accurate representation of those hills. They are covered with manzanita. They are covered with plants that, by nature, have a petroleum base to them. You set those on fire, they burn so hot you could probably bend horseshoes with them. I know, I've had property that was covered in the stuff, and when we had fires there, they burned terribly hot. But we would clear that stuff out so we didn't have fires there, and put them in a burn pile and safely burn them. So it's just a shame what's going on in California. However, somebody be sympathetic and pray for them, because I'm not inclined to do that. So, thanks for watching our video.
Thank you so much for watching. Please follow us on Facebook.
Please follow us on
don't
Facebook
forget
at
to like and
hopkinscountygop.org.
to our channel.
Please like the video.
And we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next
Thanks
time.
again.
Please like and subscribe. Bye-bye.